you just don't glue the bottom of that second pocket. So this one can glue right down to the page. And the bottom one, you do glue the bottom of the pocket down. Line it up with the bottom of the pocket, or the bottom of the page. And then the second one, you're going to do the same thing with the diagonal cuts. That one I made a little bit higher, so. And then this one, you just glue the sides. We're going to have one giant tag go into this second pocket. And then you slide this right down into that pocket. And there you go. And you just mat it the same way we just did. But I'm going to have to cut into some new paper. So I'll be back. Okay guys, so I went through and cut all my large photo mats so I could use the scraps that I had left over for all the pages. So the top part here is 2 5/8 by 3 7/8. And we're not going to have enough paper, as I said, to do this whole thing, but if you want to extend your paper life, then you cut your mats first, largest to smallest. Kind of like it's kind of like loading your car with groceries. It's like if you load the big stuff first, so that when you get to the end, you can stick the little stuff in all the empty spots. Same idea. I've already distressed these, so I have to add the gold. This one that goes in the middle is 3 3/4 by 3 7/8, and the bottom one I think is the same. Cutting all the mats is actually, or I'm sorry, yeah, well, the mats for your pages, cutting those first, it actually makes it putting the book together go a lot faster. Obviously, you just have to be confident in your measurements. And I didn't cut any of the small stuff, I just cut the big stuff in this page because I was ready for it. Okay, I'll double check the measurement on this one. Yeah, 3 3/4. I kind of went a little bit longer. It's okay. Okay, so that's those two pages. Page 2 done. I still have that big mat to put on the back. And now, excuse me, now that all my smaller mats are cut, I can probably take and mat this here. So let's go ahead and do that. And then I think for some of the tags, that's 9 inches by 3.5. So I cut the 9 inches first to give myself the biggest piece off the bottom, and cut it at 3 3/8. 8 7/8 by 3 3/8 actually. And then it also gives me different paper to use. I'll stick with the blue. Here's that. Just make sure that it doesn't interfere with her fold there. That looks more done. Now, from what I've already cut, these are the scraps that I have left. That is an option. All the other ones are going to be too small. This is the next biggest size, and it's still about an 1/8 inch too small. So let's put this here. The other thing I could do, and I didn't plan on it, but I can put some little pockets here. If I make them big enough, I can actually use these little pieces instead of getting rid of them. What do you think? We can put pockets on front and back. I have space because I have a 1/4 inch, and I'm only using like, I don't know, 3/16 or not even. Let's do that. Let's add some flaps. I have, or some pockets. Okay, I have these leftovers here. Lots of leftovers. These are all my leftovers from my cardstock. They're all different sizes, so we'll just cut one down. We'll match this one here. That's still going to give me enough. Yeah. So we'll do a pocket. We'll do 4 pockets at 3 3/4. So we're going to cut them at 4 3/4, and this paper is 2 1/4. So 4 3/4 by 2 1/4. And just because you make your map on your pages, remember I showed you my map? It was made on the back of my receipt. Just because you make a map on your pages doesn't mean you can't make some detours. You can mat that first, but I'm not going to because I want to use the same thing to like tuck. Alright, so let's piece these flaps together here. And all 4 of them are going to be the same. And you want to line them up on the outside of the flap, because the closer you get to any seam or any fold, the less bulk you want next to it. It's just easier to fold that way. Okay, so now we'll be able to use these, and they're all 4 going to be the same, so we're going to cut them at 2.5 by 3 3/4. Oh, no, this is a different size. 2.5 by 3 5/8. That is too short, but it fits the bottom. Let's measure this again. I cut it too short. Okay, so 2.5 by 3 5/8 is fine. I just cut it too short. Let's do it again. Okay, 3 5/8. Alright, 2 pages done. All we need to do is make the insert. So let's go on to the next page. Next page is going to be a side pocket page. So I have 2 strips here. One is cut at 2 by 10.5, and one's cut at 1.5 by 10.5. And we're going to score those at a 1/2 inch on the long side. And I went ahead and cut the mats for these. And they're just cut about a 1/16 smaller. And this is my last full piece of paper I cut in 2. So we'll go, I think we'll do the biggest one. Oh, and I want to close this up so it goes on glue on 3 sides. If not, the tags will fall out the other side. And then we're going to cut the diagonal on this. You do not have to do 3 sides on this one. This is going to be one of those deep pockets. Well, deep, 3 inches deep. That slides right into there. And just line it up at the bottom and the top. Now, all right. Let's see this one. This is just like a little piece I have left over. It's a little short. I wonder if I have any other ones. There we go. That one's long enough. Just leftovers. I think that's from the cover, actually. Which side? I like this side. Okay. And then the gold. Okay, here we are. There's that page, and again we'll have to do the inserts for it. And page 6 is going to be a diagonal pocket. And if you haven't seen how to do this yet, I will try and walk through it. I have this piano paper that I really like. And this piece is just the 9.5 by 4 cut at a diagonal. That's going to be my pocket. And it's a little bigger. I'm going to go ahead and cut off like a little less than 1/8 inch here, just because I lost some of my There we go. I feel better about that. Okay. Okay, and then we're going to do, this is going to be the mat. So I line this up right on the corner. And this is the way I want it. Now, flip your page over and give yourself double thickness of the space you want between. So I've been using really small space. So that's about an 1/8. I'm going to go just a little bit more. So right about there. You split the difference between that. And that'll give you, when you cut on the diagonal here, that's going to give you the size of mat that you want. So double space your mat here, and then when you cut it, it'll give you the extra space. And I just stick it right in my trimmer and trim right along the line. And if you haven't seen, I did a Christmas tutorial. I did the Christmas Here Comes Santa Claus collection, and I explained this page, and it's actually a pocket page. All right, and there you go. There, you can't see it. You just split the difference between the two, and you have a perfect mat. So first thing I'm going to do is glue this side down. After I ink it. I don't know if you guys can see how the gold ink is playing, but I think it's making, it's just like this subtle gold shine, kind of like if you were to add like a Winkastella to every page. So, and I may go back in and do some gold accents when we're done, but I have some other things that I want to put on. Don't want to overkill. Out of tape. So after I put on, I'm going to put some laces and stuff on the pockets. After I do that, we'll look and see if we have any room to add some gold accents. I have some gold medal stuff and some flowers and stuff too, so we'll see. This pocket's going to get glued down on 3 sides. And that lines up right up against the edge of the page. Alright, there you go. 2 more pages done. Okay, so page 7 is going to be a waterfall, and page 8 is going to be plain. So for page 7, I have one, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of these mats that measure, let's see here, where is my blue? I did 3 3/4 by 4. So the actual mats will be 3 3/4 by 3 1/2. You're going to score each one at a 1/2 inch on the long side. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is line up on the very top. And we'll just use glue. Whoops. And you can make this as big or as small as you'd like. And just line that up right in the middle. And I'm not going to mat the bottom page because there's only an 1/8 inch on both sides. And I got my page a little crooked. I'm going to go ahead and trim that. That was like my original base page. I've got a little extra sticking off there. Just a bit. There we go. And then on the next one, you line this up with the bottom of this. And in the meantime, you also try and keep it straight. Because I think here, like my fold got a little bit off, but that looks horrible. So after everyone, close it to see what it looks like, because they need to line up when it's closed. There, that's better. So let's look how bad it is on the inside. It's really bad on the inside, but I'm going to cover that so I don't feel bad. Okay. And it's because my score line's off. That's what did that. There's two reasons that happens. It's either because your score line's off or because you cut your paper crooked. Okay. And I think, make sure I get this on straight. That's better. I'm going to leave these white for right now because I may put a closure with a magnet on that. And then this, I think I may make a true waterfall out of this. Okay, so when you do the waterfall, after you get done fussy cutting your image out, what you do is you only put adhesive on the part of the waterfall that you are gluing down. So right now I'm only gluing down the first flap. So as you can see, I just put adhesive on the first part of, or the upper part of that violin, and then I smooth it down, make sure that it all sticks, and then I cut it flush with the top page. And then I put adhesive on the next piece, which is a 1/2 inch, because that's what my hinges were, or my gussets. So I have a 1/4 inch ATG, so that's about 2 little swipes of my ATG. Line it up with the top piece, glue it down, and then you cut that part, and you just keep doing that for the entire image. Now, if you glue everything down at once, it's extremely hard to handle. It's possible, but I don't recommend it. So just be patient and glue down one piece at a time until you're done. Page 9, I'm going to leave blank without any folds, pockets, or tags, or whatever. So I just mat that one. And page 10 is going to be a belly band. So you'll see parts of that, and then I'll give you the measurements for the belly band. Page 9 is going to be a belly band page, and I have a piece at 5 inches by 1 inch, scored at a 1/2 inch on both sides. And I'm sure I can find a scrap for this. That's perfect. Okay. My gold. There we go, and then I'll find something to put as like a stopper down here. So we'll do that later. So boom boom, 2 more pages done. Let's see, the next page I have a long pocket, and I think that's the one that I'll put that piano paper on. So I have I cut this one at 5 inches by 7, and I'm going to score at the 1/2 inch. On the short side. And then I'm going to cut this at about 6 3/4 here, so that the image is right side up. Okay, so I'm distressing this the mats for this page, and this long pocket is simple. You just on both scores glue it down, and then you glue the bottom down like normal. The only thing you gotta watch on this one is that this is the flat page, and you want to make sure you do this not on the flap side. So the opening to this is on well, obviously on the right side. The flap is underneath, and it's crooked, so I take it off to redo it, and then line it back up, and then remat it. Long pocket, and then this one is the flat page, and this flap is exactly 4 inches, maybe even a little bit longer, so I'm going to take some of that off, like an 1/8 inch. For easy closing. There we go. You see there's a little bit there now. And on the outside page, we're just going to mat it, and I think I'm just going to do this nice blue. And I think I may need to take like an 1/8 inch off of that, since I took an 1/8 inch off of the page. Maybe like this. There's that. And then on the inside, this page is going to matte regular. And I'm going to use this paper. Running dangerously low on paper. I think I have 2 pages front and back left after this one. I don't think I'm going to get away with just using 1 paper pad. And there we go. And then this one, I'm going to go ahead and put another pocket on. Actually, how many pages do I have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I messed up somewhere. So this paper is okay. So we have our pocket here, and it is 5 by 5, and then we're going to score at a 1/2 inch on both sides, making it a 4 by 5 pocket. You guys will be experts at pockets after this. And then this one we'll cut at 4 7/8 from the top. That's going to be the bottom layer. That's going to be the pocket. That's the bottom, and then that's the pocket. I'm having issues with my scoring here. I'll try this again. I don't know why. What am I doing wrong? It's not coming out straight. There we go. There we go. That's better. Excuse me. Go on 3 sides. And make sure that this doesn't interfere with the fold, and it's going to stick up. Okay, so remember I cut that down. I need to cut this down too. Instead of cutting it down, I'll just score it another 1/8 inch over. Maybe that's why it's telling me, it's like, hey, this isn't going to work. Here. Alrighty, that'll do her. That's a little excess there. You can always trim that down too with your scissors, but it'll be alright. It's one of the reasons why we're waiting to put the mats in, is so that when you yeah, that's better. If you wait to put the mats in, when you slip them under here, it covers up those tabs so things slide in and out easier. Here we go. Alright, there's that one. Stack all my pages up here. Lots of music notes. And some of this will be, I don't know what you want to call it, disrupted when we put the tags in. This one I got distress ink on the white, so we'll have to cover that somehow. And this one goes here. Alright, well, looks like we got 2 more front and back to go. Definitely gonna have to cut into the other pack paper because this is all I have left. these are going in the trash. That's getting thrown away. And these, not yet. But yeah, 2 more pockets to go. I still have some matting to do on my last ones. Definitely gonna have to bust into the next pack of paper. So let's see. My next page is I have a double pocket, but it's gonna be, let me see if I can just stick these tags in here. I'm gonna have to cut these down a little bit. I wonder if I can use this for my next page. No, okay. So these tags are why is this, oh, 3 inches to the flat by about 2 3/8. 3 by 3.5. Let's do it again. I just made a couple more scraps. That one's too short. Okay. Yes, you must give yourself some room to clearance room. These 2 little guys. Let's test. They still look small, but they'll fit. I guess they're not. And I'm just going to center these on the page. That looks good. And then see if I have some scraps. Some solid ones would be good for this. Let's see. Should have made it a little shorter. Alright, I'll cut this one up. So these are 3 by 2.5. So we'll cut this at 2 7/8. By 2 3/8. There we go.